Is ageism on the increase? Are older people being discriminated against more and more? We'll get into that in just one moment. Stay with me. Hi, I'm JJ, otherwise known as the Practical Alchemist. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another little thought of what's going on in the world today. They call me the Practical Alchemist because I'm always looking for practical ways that we can improve our health and well-being, our lives in general. And as somebody who's getting on in years, it's becoming more and more apparent to me that we older people are hugely discriminated against. Now, bear with me. The latest that I'm seeing is that people are calling for, I don't know, drivers over 65 to hand in their licenses because they're obviously far too old to drive. And then I saw one story about one accident that had been caused by somebody who was cognitively impaired. They didn't actually talk. I don't remember how old that person was. But again, the implication is that if you're old, you're losing your marbles. So let's not have you drive anymore. And, in any case, when you get to 70 in this country, in the UK, you have to reapply for your driving license every 3 years and make a declaration that you are healthy and fit to drive. And people are saying now, well, no, that's not good enough. You have to go through a medical to make sure that you're healthy and fit to drive and that you can see. Well, the older we get, the more sensible we get. And we know, most of us, that we're fit to drive or not fit to drive. I know some older people, we had that with my father. He would not allow us to hand in his driving license because he felt, well, when you lose your driving license, it's really quite a thing if you've been driving all your life. He wasn't up to driving ultimately, and we did get him to hand in his license, but it was a struggle. And yes, there are people like that, but most people, when they get to the age of 70, are completely sane, have all their faculties, and actually these days are pretty damned fit. I consider myself to be one of those people. And, you hear people saying that 70 is the new 50. I absolutely agree with that. The aging process these days is not as fast as it used to be if you're looking after yourself. So I do find that all these stories about how older people need to be policed in terms of driving. I mean, just look at the statistics. If you look at the statistics here, in 2023 in the UK, men were responsible for more car accident casualties than women, with 80,000 compared to 49, nearly 50,000 for women. And 76% of all car accident fatalities and 62% of all casualties were male. And young male drivers aged 17 to 24 are 4 times more likely to be killed or seriously injured than drivers aged 25 or over. I mean, by that logic, you wouldn't give a license to a man under 25. You would wait until they got older. So I do think it's really insidious, this attack on older people. We are not gaga. We have a lot to offer. We had the government here in the UK stopping heating allowances for older people. We're seeing more and more calls for restrictions on what older people can do. Why? Why? We're perfectly fit, many of us, most of us, I would guess, and perfectly capable. And when it comes to doing things like driving, we've had more experience. We are less likely to be reckless. Why do so many young people, young men, get involved in so many accidents? Because a lot of them are reckless. They'll drink and drive, take drugs and drive, speed. Just lay off older people. That's what I say. And if you know an older person, yes, make sure that they're okay, but don't treat older people as if they're, well, don't patronize us. Don't treat older people as if they're daft, mad, stupid. We're not. I would love for society these days to go back to a time where older people were cherished, not necessarily revered, but accepted and looked after and cherished for their wisdom, for their knowledge, for everything that they've experienced in life that they can hand down to younger generations. Of course, we need to talk if that's going to happen. We need to get together and have conversations. We need to connect within our communities. And I know I talk about community a lot, but you know, it is really important. And older people are really important elements of our communities. It's not just all about the young. So I'd love for us all to think about the elderly, but not so much in that sort of blanket, everybody who's over a certain age must be completely useless way. Let's make sure that people spend their later years in a much more welcoming and loving environment. So what are you going to do to help or just support your elderly people locally? I'd love to hear. Let me know. Let me know if you do help out. Let me know what your thoughts are about getting old. It really is. 70 is the new 50. And I just said to somebody earlier, 50 is the new 30. And for many people, that is absolutely the case. I just wish that the rest of society would catch up with that. And on that note, I will leave you. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please do let me know what you think, because it does drive me crazy. Yeah. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those good things if you have enjoyed this little rantet. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.